This is the behavior skills training on how to calculate data and graph it onto a graph. We have, for the materials we have today, we have pen, we have a calculator, we have a graph, and pre-recorded data. These are the instructions, and our first step will be just read the highlighted area. These are the instructions. Just read that.
That's it?
Take as long as you want to read it, and then let me know when you're done. Okay, you done? You read it? All right.
Okay.
Perfect. Now do the first two with the line here. Do these first two.
Wow. I don't think I have a clue.
Do you want to read the instructions?
Yeah, I think I should.
Read the instructions again. Okay, now do it.
I'm lost.
Do it. All right, we are done with step one. Instructions proved to not be effective in this case. So we're going to move on to step two, which will be modeling. Now I'm going to model, and while I model, I'm going to explain what I'm doing while I do it. You pull up your calculator for me, just. All right, so the first step, we have to calculate the data. So it's the percentage of occurrences versus the opportunities that happened. So this one, this 13 times it happened. Let's see how many times it happened out of 13, which is identified by a plus. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We'll do 5 divided by 13. Now multiply that by 100.
38.4.
So that's 38%. And now we'll do the next one. You have 1, 2, 3, 4 out of 16. So 4 divided by 16 times 100.
$25.
25%. Now, we're going to take those two numbers and we're going to, because they're not we're going to put the dates on the bottom, and I just have them by numbers. So this will be day 1, that'll be day 2. And we got to add zeros to all these numbers. There's a 0 here for percentage, right? So it's 0, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 100. So 38%. So for day 1 is 38. I'm going to put it about here, right? Let's say that's about 38, because that's 40. And then for day 2, 25, right in the middle. There.
Okay.
And then we'll connect the lines. Now, it's your turn. We'll do the next two. Now we are in the rehearsal phase. You are now rehearsing for me.
Okay, I'm doing the next 2, 3, and 4. So.
Alright, now we have finished our rehearsal phase and we're going to feedback. So you did an excellent job calculating the percentages. You got those right. But what you had a problem with, remember, we got to put the date down here. On the bottom is not, so it's the date. So what would the date be for?
Okay, so 3 and 4.
Right, right down. And so your data points were very good. I always like to stick them on the line that corresponds with the day. So for
should have been over here.
Right, just right on the line exactly. And like this one, where would you put that one?
Oh, that one should have been over here.
Just right on the line. Okay. Any questions?
No.
Or I can do the next two. How many did you have there?
4.
Okay, 4 out of
4 out of 11.
Okay.
36.
Good, you wrote the date.
36.
Now, these things aren't going to always be exact.
Okay,
right, so there you go. Yep. When you're doing things in between the lines, it's okay if it's not perfect, because this is just a visual display of what we're doing, so I can see if we need to make any changes to the program.
Alright, so...
And you connected it all. Perfect. Now, we did 4 steps of an instructional phase. What did you find the most useful? Now, I'm going to ask you, we had 4 stages. There was first, ask you to rate them out of 1 to 5. 5 being the most useful, 1 being the least. So we had the instruction phase, where I just gave you instructions.
That was the least.
So you would give, what would you give that at 1 to 5?
I would give that the 1.
And then the second phase was modeling, where I did it, and you watched.
I would give that the 5.
You give that a, well, okay, we'll give that a 5. You can change these answers afterwards.
Okay.
Now the second phase was rehearsal, where you practiced with me watching. How would you rate
4.
that? And then feedback, I gave you feedback, and then while you were doing it, I also gave you some more feedback.
Right.
How'd you rate that part?
That's sort of in between the 4 and the 5, though. But very helpful. So I'll have to say 3.
All right, so let's go over it again. The instructions, where I just gave you instructions and said read, do.
Right.
You rated that a 1.
Yes.
You want to change that?
No.
Okay, modeling, you just watched me. So you could have watched that on a video or any form. And you gave that a 5.
I think maybe the one.
The next one is rehearsal, so you practiced while I watched.
Yeah.
And then feedback was I gave you feedback, direct feedback, verbal feedback while you did it.
All right, I'll move that up then to. I'll move that up to the 5.
Feedback?
Yeah.
rehearsal, still a 4, and then modeling, just you watch me do it.
Right.
I'll move that down.
Yeah, so everything just moves down.
Move that to a 4.
Yeah, and then the other one to a 3.
Rehearsal.
This one to the 3.
Rehearsal. All right, I think that's it.
Okay.